Season's greetings to each and every one. On the lawn.
Why you starting soon again, Ernie? Why you starting soon again?
Well, you know, I never see you. I thought you decided that because you got lucky the other night. I thought you decided you weren't going to turn up.
I'm turning up because you know we have to turn up. It's that time. It's that time of the year. And
Merry
that's when
Christmas.
trouble really turns up.
Yo.
Bells and Santa Claus and mulled wine. And we have some Guinness wrong there. You have white rum?
You know, disco.
Hey.
You know, disco.
But seriously.
Disco. Daddy Ernie, I give them free promo.
All right. Round the back.
That's better.
Seriously, Crystal, we were supposed to have one of these, but you didn't bring it through. You didn't bring it through. We need to know what happened to this stuff that's supposed to go in the barrel. We wanted a warm one.
You know that. And I know the barrel can't unpack. I can't.
the barrel stuck.
What?
Barrel stuck like my last key.
Was the barrel on that ship that was across the Suez Canal? That gets
apparently
stuck across the Suez Canal and it can't reach it.
No, apparently so. And them said them lose the key, so.
Oh, okay.
We wanted a warm one.
Never happened.
It didn't happen.
Never happened. Typical, innit?
It didn't happen.
Typical, Robbo. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Why is it typical? You had one job and one job alone. All right, we understand. I understand, Crystal. You went to Jamaica. You had family run-ins.
No, Robbo. Daddy Ernie, y'all got Jamaica next month, don't?
Hopefully.
No, ain't no hopefully. Y'all got Jamaica next month, so you can bring back about 2 barrels.
If Life Spare and Boris don't put a spanner in the works, we hope to be there.
All right.
The flight is booked. The flight
is
booked.
Go to Jamaica right now.
All right.
Right now with that foolishness on his head. Well, listen, people. Welcome.
Listen.
Welcome.
This is your normal one. You know, there's a black, gold, and green. Don't rump with this piece of tinsel. You know.
How long have you had that tinsel? For how long you have it?
How long?
Yeah.
I just got it a little while ago.
Yeah, that looks like some tinsel from the 70s. People, welcome. It's the Fixture list. It's a Friday night. If you haven't forgot, it seems like it's another day of the week. I don't know, but it really, really is Friday night, and it is Christmas Eve in London. See, every time he puts his hats on, the screen changes.
I've abandoned it.
Yeah, so it's a Christmas Eve. Thanks for joining us. There were so many people waiting. There was about 10 people waiting for the show to start, and we finally started the show. Ernie went to get a drink.
Yeah, man.
Crystal to check that the stuff was still in the barrel and it wasn't actually confiscated on her way in from Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I'm here. And seriously, I haven't started yet, Crystal. I don't start yet.
You're not start yet?
No.
It could only get better, or it could get worse.
Explain what is this?
Is that mulled wine you got?
Yeah, explain what the blazing hell is this, because it's okay, but it's weak.
But you're supposed to warm it up or something, innit?
What?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Mulled wine. You're supposed to warm it up. That's mulled wine and drink it.
I only done this because of you.
Yeah, but have you warmed it up? If it's just a normal wine that you drink every week, it's not so nothing. You have to have the mulled wine.
It is mulled wine.
Have you heated it up? Did you heat it up?
No. In a wine glass. You want the whole place explode?
No, you eat it up and then put another glass. That's mulled wine for you. You know what I mean? It's a great English tradition. You know that, Ron? The English, they don't muck about. It's tradition. Mulled wine and mince pies at Christmas.
Well, before everybody jumps off the screen, let's naff off this tradition. let's do our one and keep it rolling out today. Christmas Eve, So many things to talk about, obviously, in the week. We have a special guest. He was supposed to join us last week. He is a Chelsea legend. I reckon that he didn't join us last week because Chelsea's kind of
Pop down.
and everybody think of them right
Shaky.
now. They're shaky.
Yeah.
I think they're on shaky ground. So
You
he's
know
gonna come
that.
in and join us in a hot few. Come
Mm.
defend the ting. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And tell us where our tickets is to the actual suite that he presides in the Stamford Bridge. The legend Paul Canova will be joining us in a hot few. You know what I mean?
And Eddie, well, I saw Eddie earlier on this evening, and he said he looked to me. He sounded like he was having a little bit of a hoo-ha with the missus, because apparently she's invited some people round to his yard, and he don't want to open the door to let them in. So we're gonna find out from Eddie how that is proceeding, because it looked like to me like Lady Nestor is giving him a warm time. You know what I mean? He might not even make it tonight.
You know why Eddie don't want to open the door? Because Eddie don't want to share the sauce. You know he's got his special Christmas Eve Dominican sauce. He don't want to share it.
Well, for
But
whatever reason,
on the door pulling her, everything share out, you know.
yeah, for whatever reason, he don't want to open the door. He's giving his missus pure stress, but I know Lisa, and he ain't gonna get away with that. So I don't know. I got visions of it, putting him outside the door, letting everyone else in the house. So we'll find out from Edward a little bit later how it's going. I think Robert might join us as well.
What is that you're drinking out of Crystal?
They drink some wine, save the sorrel for tomorrow.
Okay.
Or maybe even later on.
Yeah,
You want swap?
No, sir. No, sir. You look like you enjoy your wine, Robert.
No, that wine look like he's a wine from Lidl.
How you know? Actually, this is from Tesco's.
Oh, okay.
Little have some nice drinks though.
Come and try.
Nice soft drinks.
Come and be like Ernie. Come and try me. And I said, you know what? Let me do it, Ernie. Yeah, I'll have some. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh, Ernie, it's horrible. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I was at a place last night, Robbo, the Ministry of Sounds, and I bought a can of beer in there. It's the worst beer I've ever tasted in my life. I said to the brother, you know what? I said, do you sell this? He says, yeah, mate. I said, could I pour it down that sink? He says, you can do what you want. Straight down the sink.
Hang on, Ernie, why did you buy a can of beer? What was the can of beer about?
Well, you know, them places there, they don't really have our kind of Guinness. You know, the nearest they got for us is a ting, right? And you know, they've taken out the necessary ingredients, like Coke and Lucas say they've taken out the necessary ingredients. So this can was red.
Sugar they taken out Ernie. Sugar.
What?
They only took out sugar out of it.
Yeah, but that gave it the flavor.
Oh, okay.
That gave it the flavor.
I'll ask your dentist that.
Don't worry about that. No, our teeth's gonna rotten anyway. Don't worry about that.
Ting and white rum, original strip. That strips out the whole of your gums, bro.
So this tin was red, and I thought, yeah, man, it look all right still. Bro, when I tasted it, Jesus.
Did you check if it was from Scotland or if it was a German beer? You just thought it was a red tin.
Wherever it come from, they want to stop saying that they make beer because it is shocking. Terrible behavior. You know what I mean? So should we get the old?
Yes, indeed. Why not? So if you're watching right now, do us a favor, you power the show. The harder you go, the harder we go. If you decide that you're liking what you're watching, all you got to do is just put your just press the thumbs up button in the YouTube. Like that really does help.
Boom.
That's like Raniek's telling the players what to do.
You don't worry about Raniek. Your manager already said that you're in trouble, so you know what I mean?
Shouts going out to Tony Frith already in the house. Big up Tony Frith already dropping QPR for life. I don't know where you're going to QPR for life. Right now, QPR need little life right now. But big up Tony Frith in the building. Shouts to everybody locked in right now. If you want to drop your comments, where are you watching from? It is Christmas Eve. We only have a little over an hour here. We're not doing overtime because Ernie still has bits and pieces to buy. Buy some bits and pieces. So listen guys. Tell us where you're watching from. It really does help. And if you're on YouTube and Facebook, press the share button now. Just do it now.
Just
Now
share.
you're watching. I know you're watching. We can see y'all watching.
Yeah, man.
So if
Just
you get a few
share.
of you sharing it, it would be beautiful. You'll be doing us
Absolutely.
a real favor.
And we got
We might
Chris
as well
on
get him
this.
out gets in the building because he is. How can we put it, Ernie? He was
What?
riding high a few weeks ago.
Ooh.
Our guess.
Oh, yeah. They were
Please allow these things named after him. They
yeah,
were,
man.
the Champion League winners were going to be taking the league, the Premier.
League, the
So it'd be
whole thing.
natural. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And they do say he's one of our own as well.
Mm.
Paul Cannibal in the building. Wagwan Canas. Good evening, Cannibal.
Let me put this thing on. Anyway, cheers. And me a drink. Yeah.
What's
And the
that?
same wine. Don't worry with that. Don't worry with me on it. This is the real thing, man. You know, see this, yeah? What's the glass? What's the glass? What's the glass? What's the glass? What's the glass?
That look like some leaf from milch.
Well, you know about Leisha milk. Trust me. Yeah.
That look
Anyway,
like leaf from milch.
Prosecco with cherries. Nothing better than that.
Wow.
Prosecco with cherries.
Nah, man, that ain't
Bust that
sparkling.
one.
That ain't
I
sparkling
didn't know
in your
you
left
like
channel.
cherries.
Me, I tell you.
House right now. Who else
That's
is
the
in the
real
house?
thing.
Let us know right now.
From you're able to come in, yeah. I need more of that Prosecco anywhere. Yeah. But anyway, gentlemen, let me put out this thing here properly. Once again, I'd like to apologize for last week. It wasn't a good time. I was down with a bug, and it was terrible. I couldn't talk with anybody. It was long. I tell you what. When I go down with a bug, obviously, I'll just let it know. I'm telling her no. My immune system is terrible. So yeah, it wasn't a good time.
Wasn't that bug, was it?
But I don't know what bug that was, but I tell you what, it had me knocked out, sweat, cold. It was unbelievable. I was in bed, I didn't move. And to be honest, how I did I do some hospitality? I think I did. How I did it, I don't know, to be honest. But it wasn't the COVID, no, don't get me wrong. God bless. I've had that twice now, and you know what I mean, the immune system seems to be fighting that as such. But with what's been going on with these days, what we mentioned earlier, it's like we're here in Christmas, but it seems like a depressing Christmas this time round. And not for the fact, for the public, it's just what's happening. You know what I mean? And you know, it's a shame. It's something I always look forward to. I ain't gonna lie to you. As much as I run it, I always look forward to it, whether it's for my kids or whatever. But this time around, it just doesn't seem. And I've phoned the kids, I've sent money, but you know what? I got this light, my first light, because I've just moved, and I put up my first Christmas tree, and I enjoyed putting up that tree and the lights. I'm telling you, and trust me, it's like, why?
Is it a proper tree, Canners?
No, not that proper. This is a nice white tree. It's lovely. The decorations I put on it, man. I felt proud when I done it. When a man feel proud that I'm decorating tree, trust me, I'm going along.
It's your first Christmas tree you put up?
Yeah. I've never put up a Christmas tree myself. I always like when you was growing up, your mum, you help your mum and so forth. And when I've never put up a tree either the missus, but this time I put up my tree. I put it with the light.
Ernie, did you put up your tree?
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, you want to see what we got on the top, man. We got a black doll on the top there looking wicked.
You know what?
Nice.
That's what I wanted to get, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know what? Because I don't know if it was a place in Bush or somewhere might be in Westfield, that place that's selling black doors, black decorations for the tree.
Where we got
Do you
it
know
from.
About it?
Yeah, we got it from there.
It
was a pop-up shop. It was a pop-up shop down there, running
wicked.
for I think November or October.
Listen, I can see the lights in Ernie's eyes now. Ernie's like, yo, man, yo.
I'm telling you, she looked wicked.
I told you. Listen.
Oh, I love that.
Don't follow Ernie, so go easy on that Prosecco, you know.
I ain't busting that yet. Until after.
Shouts going out
but
to
yeah, how we doing it? How we doing?
Well, we're all good. We got people listening. We got a few fans. Shouts to Michael Revolt right now, locking in from Nantes in France. I wonder if he's a Chelsea fan. Digi Vibes, we know Digi Vibes is a Man United fan. He's aiding you up. So people out there, if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're a true blue, or you know any true blues, this is a true blue legend. Now, Paul, Last time we spoke, we didn't actually go into the acknowledgement that you received from Chelsea, but to have a suite in
Since
Abramovich's building named after you, and let me say it as it is, a black man to have a suite named after him in any stadium, in any sporting arena is quite an achievement, brother.
is it? Wow.
Yeah.
It
You're
is.
serious? Hold on.
Yeah.
My bedroom named after me.
I didn't even realize that, you know, and that's the
It's-
truth.
It's big.
Serious? Wait, Barnsley ain't got one down that pool?
No, man. No, man. He might have a box, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
tell
named
me.
after him.
A lot of them have
Wow.
boxes, but
Boxes,
suites
yeah.
named after them.
Rob, you know what? I really didn't think any of that. I didn't even think along them lines. I'm not going to lie to you. And don't get me wrong. When this was mentioned as such, I thought, yeah, really. Until we sat down and they had me in the actual suite. Paul, we're going to name this after you. And we look around the whole of the suite and we're like, but this is suite. It's big, you know. We're sure enough people coming in there after they hear it's my suite. You know what I mean? That's all I was thinking. My head was thinking, trust me, but yeah, those members, yeah, brother. Every home game I've gone into, no word of a lie. And this is the weird thing. You know, when I go there every time for my home games, I have to look at the sign just to make sure it's still there. I just think it's not going to be there. It was a joke. It's still there. Carnival Suite. Everybody that's come there, now don't get me wrong, it's just none of that. I've got family members that come down and friends, and I'm able to tell them come. Just to show in the suite. They can't eat in there, but just to come into the suite and have a look at it.
So hold on,
you've got
hold
the
on.
pictures.
What are you saying, Paul? If we come down there, we can't eat in there. We're not going to get the silver
Yeah.
service.
Can't eat. I'm afraid. I'm seriously. I don't have that power.
Is it because of COVID though, Paul?
No. It's just that it's because it's what you call it, the memberships that they've all bought their ticket and that's where it is. The seating is not available. Trust me. When I tell you it's busy, it's the biggest suite at the club. So imagine that. It's the biggest suite. When I say, you sure when you're giving me the suite? Because I ain't like you. At the other end, you've got the footballers' wives. They are at the other end with a curtain. They sit at the other end. So you can imagine how big this suite is. And when a man, it's like two sets a stage where the food is and they just help themselves and sit down. I go in there, obviously, say hello and whatever, but it's the pictures, the written statements that are there that kind of acknowledge me, and that's the respect. So yeah, it's an honor. I don't get me wrong. Look at the time when we last talked, as you said, and to see what's happening now. But it's been great. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been great.
I thought you was going to give us a couple of tickets and say, yeah, man, come eat some food on behalf of yourself.
No. I would
Online tickets and all those things.
If I ever was to get you, I'd just like say, come, let me take a visit in the box and watch. Well, it wouldn't be Man United. I don't think you'd be watching that. You know what I mean? That's definitely.
So what would you be watching?
No, you wouldn't. I mean, you watch football. Obviously, Chelsea giving the football lesson, but I'll get you another team because that makes sense watching Man U, does it really?
What are you talking about? You never done too well against us the other day.
No.
You done well. No, get me wrong. It was a draw. I mean, you're lucky.
And you was at home.
You was lucky. Come on.
Yeah,
everybody said that it was like we was at home. And don't get me wrong, you're going to come back with these results now. Hold on, we was at the top, and these results that are coming back now means nothing. We started off fresh, and that's great. Because Chelsea don't usually start off fresh. They've started off fresh, and now we've got some injuries, like everybody else. We've got a few injuries. That's nothing wrong. Don't worry about that. We're still there in the runnings. Arsenal, Talawa, love you, coming up there. And don't get me wrong, recognise still they're Tottenham and Arsenal, putting in some results. Your manager, they was all talking about sacking him, but he's still there. And look what's happening. Great.
Yeah.
Man, you sack your boy. Don't get me wrong. Now, what's happening? You tell me. Don't get me wrong. Where are you at this stage? This is what I'm trying to say.
6 in the Prem.
Yeah, 6 in the Prem. Man U is always supposed to be third, fourth, even not in first, second. You'll always be up there if that's what I'm saying to you. You know that, and I know that.
That's what the fans say and the press says.
No, you know what the club says.
Nothing's
Ferguson
given.
would tell you that. they're always been up
nothing's
there.
given. Nothing's given. You know what I mean?
Trust me,
Because-
in the last few years now, it's not easy no more, sir.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Canners, it's like when, Chelsea took 58 years to win the division.
What, Champions League?
Championship.
Champions
No,
League?
Premiership or whatever you want to call
the
it.
Premiership. You could call it Premiership.
It took them 58 years to win that. And, you lot was always hoping and hoping.
I like that. Scully. You see, read that proper. We always have a bump in November, December. Watch us. Yeah? Watch us. That's all I got to say to you. Don't get me wrong, develop. I will say this, and if I'm honest, and a few, real fans would know it, that we need another striker. We need a striker, another striker. We can't rely on Lukaku. Right now, the man should no. We haven't got a striker, a formidable striker. We haven't. Even Havertz, the German boy, he's not a striker, bro. He's a midfielder.
I think you need another. I think you need another N'Golo Kante, because Kante runs.
Kante run that, brother. We missed him. We missed him so bad.
I think that's where your problem's at, mate. Is Kante. But listen, we're going to talk about the league and the few games. Don't let Ernie draw you out, because that's what he's here.
Ernie can't do nothing. Ernie can't do nothing.
Complaints I get. They say, Ernie, why doesn't that Daddy Ernie character take his spectacles off? I said, no. This is how we like Ernie. We like him to keep his spectacles on. I just can't wait until it gets boxed off after Rannick finds out about what the league's
From he
about.
hasn't got his glasses on, it means that he don't see Man United second place or third place. You know where they really are.
All right, Captain. So what are you saying about Rannick then? What are you saying about Rannick?
Rannick.
What's he saying about Rannick?
What are we saying about Rannick?
Magnum and chill, man.
No,
what are we saying about Rannick?
What you saying, Paul Canaville? What you saying about Rannick?
I'm not talking about Rannick right now. I want to talk about the rest of the set. I want to talk what everybody else is saying. Right now. I talk about what I know. Yeah? All right? What I know.
You're biased.
That's what I talk about.
Hold on, guys. Ernie just wants to draw you in. Just leave it right there.
I'm not cutting in that.
You're biased. You're biased.
No, Ernie wants to draw you in so he can get a trending moment for the show.
Yeah. We're all right with that.
You're like Frank Scully.
Let me pick up some of the people. Shouts to Paul Robinson right now. He said he's on the Baileys, or is it rum? I don't know. He's asking you, Ernie, what you having. He's asking you, Paul, what you're having.
You know what? My little tingle now is Prosecco. It really is a treat. Don't get me wrong. I have the white rum. I have the little brandy. But right now, this is the refreshing. I put 2 cherries in there, liquid cherry juice. And
I'm going to try that. Because I'm drinking Prosecco at the moment. I'm going to try
put
that.
The liquid juice.
Nice.
So you get the cocktail cherry and put the liquid juice in there. Touch me and tell me about it.
Yeah, I try that.
Me tell you that. Yeah.
Mine in the crystal, mine in the fly your head in. You wake up and all the football's done. You got nothing to mine up.
And just a one day, just a one day we can drink, because they're back on tomorrow. You know what I mean? True. That's it. Back on the Sunday. So.
Shout to Frank Scully. He said we missed the quiet man and the engine room Kovacic. Master Blaster's in the building. He has just chimed in. Chelsea will finish 3rd. What do you think about that? Chelsea's position. Do you think, Paul? All right, you mentioned the players that you're missing. But in the top 4, it's not going to be easy for anyone. I don't think anyone's got it. I don't think City's got it in the bag. Liverpool ain't got it in the bag. Chelsea definitely got it in the bag.
No.
Bumps in the road, as you said. But what do you think about if you did finish 4th, 3rd? Would that be a good season for Chelsea?
Yeah, I think it would. I'm not getting me wrong. How we started off, we don't usually start off like this. How we started off by starting at the top, and now we're 3rd. And don't get me wrong, you see a goal difference is going to be the main contender at the end of the season with Liverpool. They were crashing every week, 4-0, 4-0. Man City, the same thing. But it isn't easy. Those games, and anybody was saying, well, I'm telling you, the games that we're supposed to be winning at home, we're not winning them. That's the 3-pointers that we need. And that's where we struggle a bit. Don't get me wrong. When we go away and we're playing them top sides, best performance ever. But it's the games that those are coming to the bridge, it's those games we need to win. And that's the difference. Don't get me wrong, what Thomas is doing, we've got a squad there.
Thomas.
And like you mentioned, Kante is definitely missed. That was an engine in itself from box to box. This man would break down play and make play too. Yeah. With that, boy, when we had the injury with Ben Chilwell, that changed up. Reece on the right, Bell on the left. Boy, the four at the back, unbelievable. Because the two of them at wide was attacking, and that changed when Ben had these got the injury, and that's what changed up with Chelsea. That's what I see that's changed up with Chelsea at the moment. The way the football's been going on.
Well, Alonso's been a decent deputy.
Alonso, don't get me wrong, Alonso's been all right going forward, and I don't bring anyone on, but defending, he's not the best. Don't get me wrong, he's not that strong, but going forward and putting the ball in the box, taking a free kick, Alonso, that's his strength. You know what I mean? We know that strength. But as I said, the midfield, definitely Miss Kante. I love the boys. Mount, the German boy, the two German boys. They're hot and cold at the moment. Don't get me wrong, hot and cold.
They're just missing.
And cold. I mean, if we was to finish some of them and put some of them goals away, man, you wouldn't be talking to me now. You know, say, oh, can it? All right. But right now, we've got to put these balls away. That's the difference here. You got Man United, Man City, you got Liverpool finishing. Finishing. When you're talking about goals like that, we should be having them goals like that. We should be finishing 4-1, 5-1. Yeah? But we're now giving teams chances when it's 1-0. That gives any team a chance to get that draw. Yeah? And then next thing you know, lucky and get a win. No, we can't do that. We have to finish teams.
Well, you got to win against Brentford in the week, in the cup, the EFL,
Look at cup.
The EFL / the Manchester City Cup. You got to win 2-0 against your close rivals, well, I should say neighbours, Brentford. Liverpool beating Leicester 3-3, and Arsenal winning.
That was a tough game as well.
Who else won again? Somebody else did win again. Who else did win? To set up the
time. Tottenham beat West Ham. Is it 3-1 or 2-1?
So it's nicely set up. Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal, or should I say Arsenal at their ground versus Liverpool. It's nicely set up, and these are cup games. Ernie, are you still with us? Because your team is not in it.
Ernie at the part of the conversation, yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the foolishness that you're talking.
Yeah,
we're in it. Whatever happens, we're in it.
You're not in it.
No, Ernie, in a day
night. No, he's in it.
Ernie, just sleep for 5 minutes, yeah? Listen,
Arsenal weren't in it the other week. They've had a couple of games, and all of a sudden they don't want to.
No, Ernie, we're talking about Carabao. Carabao, we're talking about Ernie.
The Carabao. Whatever you're in. Whatever you're in. Carabao.
You see, when you win this Carabao Cup, when you win the Carabao Cup, you get presented into the Champions League, don't you?
Really? Really? As far as
no. Oh, we're still in it. Sorry, we're still in it. Sorry. I forget.
As far as I know, Liverpool always viewed it as some little small cup. They weren't really interested.
But it is a small cup. It's just a run out.
Interested.
I wouldn't say Klopp wasn't interested in the cup, Ernie. It's just that Klopp would prioritise with a small. The difference with Klopp, it's not because he doesn't rate the cups. It's because he's got a small squad. So he knows with a smaller squad, he's got to prioritise his small squad for what's important for Liverpool, which would be actually finishing
Premier League,
and Champions League.
And also, bearing in mind, you guys are losing a few of your marquee players in the AFCON as well, so you have to make wise decisions.
When you're playing games like this in these cups, you're looking at very distinct injuries. Yeah, reason why we give run-outs for those players that ain't played. Yeah, all right, squad like we got, we're giving out 3 young boys. Yeah, from the academy, made their debut, against Brentford. Don't care, you might call it Brentford or something, but Brentford are a very tough side as far as I'm concerned in the Premier, right? And they've made their debut. I had a talk with these academy boys. I couldn't believe that the boy who's behind me made his debut. But it was tremendous to see those boys coming through like that. And that's the idea with Thomas, is allowing these little players to come through, see how they go on and see how they form. Because I tell you, these games, That's where you can pick up the worst of the injuries, and then they're out for however many games. So you know what I mean, to come through it, and wherever we are, semi-final against Tottenham, which is like a derby. Trust me, it's going to be a tough one. You know what I mean. As much as we love Tottenham, they don't love we. So it's going to be a tough game. You know what I mean. And it's a two-leg team. So they're coming by us first. Let's get see the score, get a good score from there, and we'll see what happens in the replay. You know what I mean. So it's good to see the boys that don't get me wrong come through, and Kanté to come through that game as well, come out.
Liverpool did likewise. They blooded a few young players, but it went wrong in the first half. But they managed to turn the game around, beat Leicester, and they face Arsenal. It's a two-legger, as you say. But let me ask a question.
Arsenal dead, man.
No, it's two-legger, isn't it? So Arsenal could do
Arsenal.
Oh, well, we don't know, because it's a cup, Ernie. Come on, you don't know.
4-0 that they got the other day from Liverpool.
It's a cup game, Ernie. It's a cup game.
It's going to own Arsenal. It's like when Drogba was at Chelsea. It was their worst nightmare to play Chelsea.
You know, they were talking about Paul.
I
was listening this morning. I was listening to somebody on the radio. I think it was Martin Keown defending the footballers who have been, talking about playing too many games. And somebody came in and said, well, in the Championship, they play 3 games a week. And they were trying to, he was obviously defending the footballers that play, the top end footballers, high level footballers that's playing 3 games a week. And he said it's going to have an effect on the players. But there's a lot of people who think that it won't have an effect on the players. What's your opinion? Being a man who's come from that hard road.
Believe it or not, when I was a kid, back in the day, 16, 17, I was playing. It was one Saturday, played for the school, played for the district, and representing there. I played 3 games. I was like, didn't think anything about it. Played 3 games. To the 3rd game, it showed. I couldn't move too well. I just got the ball, produced whatever. Now, when you're playing this amount of games, my friend, right, Premier, it's going to be, it'll take its toll. Because it's not just, you've got Premiership, Champions League, FA Cup, the Cobrier Cup. This amount of games, trust me, it would take its toll. This is why now, all right, you see when we pre-season training, it was the best time for us when we went away to Wales, and that pre-season was hard. Running up sand dunes, you ever run up sand? Trust me, it's like you ain't moving. One of them. And that was our physical strength that we needed. And that was before the pre-season, before the season started. So when you had that in you, you was ready for the season. These players don't do that no more. It's a lot of ball work, physical and such. And that's where the injuries come quick and fast. The pull of the muscle, pull of the hamstring, which puts you out. Not just 1 week, 2 weeks, could be without 2 months. You know what I mean? So it is hard work on our players. Maybe the reason why we have the extension of a few, players in our team as such. And when you say of a big team like Liverpool got a small squad, Chelsea got a small. We ain't got a big squad, but we got a squad that we can call on players as such. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, really and truly. So it is how come. Don't get me wrong. These games are coming rapid. Look, it's funny when you got games playing on a Thursday. The game last week was played on a Thursday. What? Then like a couple of months ago, played on a Friday. Nobody knows about playing game Friday. You know, when it's formally on a Saturday, that's when you expect your football supporting. Saturday's a game. It was like, wait, I felt bare. There was no football on Saturday. I was like, what do I do? Hold on. Do I go shopping? No, hold on a minute. That was how different these games now with the Premiership are organised. I don't know what's going on. Who's picking them, who's making the decisions? Be playing it from Sunday, then playing on Tuesday or Wednesday, then playing on a Friday. It's getting tough. It's getting tough.
Well, there's some of the comments were like, well, the players, some of these footballers
get paid
150 grand.
I don't care.
And then they say, I heard somebody say, you think work, they think that's work. Work for the national health. And I work in hospital, and people comparing apples and oranges.
No.
I can, seriously. You can actually see when a player's played too much football. You can actually see like the thing.
It's not the same.
And when you watch it, and what Klopp was trying to say was, yeah, it's cool. You want the man to play 3 games a week, but you're ruining your product. And
there
so when the I think it was TalkSport I was listening to when they all said, well, they play like that in the Championship. That's why I don't watch the Championship, to be fair. Because it's not, I'll say it's not good, but it's not like the Premier League. It's not, these players ain't thinking like
it's a
that.
tough, Championship, tough, bro.
It's a tough,
don't get me wrong, that's a tough and brutal. And if you come out of there, you're coming into a Premiership where, don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but it's a lot tougher, a lot easier than the Championship, trust me. Yeah. You just to know that when your team comes up and gets promoted, you have the right amount of players and the right genuine players to be prepared to play in the Premiership. Simple as, because it's different football itself, don't get me wrong. How it is, don't get me the structure, it's affordable for Premiership and the FA. That's what it is. And the reason why you're seeing these amount of games. But please, the supporters out there, don't think that because they've been paid this amount of money that they think that players should be able to play 3 games to 4 games a week. No, brother, you're wearing them out and you will not get the best out of them. Look at what teams abroad, Germany, was it Germany? Some of these teams, they break up in the season. You know what I mean? When the weather, they break up.
I think we're the only
one that goes right through, bro.
That goes right through. And they say it's tradition. A bit like Ernie and mulled wine. It's tradition. Sometimes tradition. Listen, I'm a believer in tradition, but even we have to look to change. Changes.
Something we can look to do. Because if we want to see the best of the football, and and I know, this is the Premiership has got the best football in the whole wide world right now. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, listen, the Premiership's supposed to be happening on Boxing Day. There's loads of games. Listen, guys, if you like what you're hearing from brother Paul Cannavale, Chelsea legend, who has his own sweet. Drop your comments below. Chelsea and Aston Villa game is apparently going on Boxing Day. Liverpool Leeds has been postponed. Wolverhampton and Watford is gone, and Burnley and Everton, which we don't actually care, that's gone as well. But Manchester City, Leicester, Norwich, Arsenal, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Southampton, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Brentford, and Brighton. That's an interesting game. And then the following day, this is a big match: Newcastle United versus Manchester United. Ernie, I'm sure you can.
That's your cue, Ernie.
You're muted.
No, muted, mate. You're muted. Yeah. That's why. Turn it on. Turn it on, Ernie. That's better.
That's a big match. That's a big match.
And a big match for you.
Manchester United against Newcastle is a big match.
The 2 Uniteds.
Big game.
It's a big game.
Big game. There's some points there to win.
Nah.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you.
Taxi Talawa.
Jamaica next month.
Listen, you got points to catch. You need to catch Arsenal. That's a big game.
We are catching Arsenal. Hear what happened?
But it's a big game.
I told you, Robert, when Rangnick came in, I told you I like the way he's talking. Right? He don't say much. But when he talks, people listen. And right now he's talking. That is not.
Ernie, nobody was listening to him this week.
Bring back Fergie, I say.
Big game. Chelsea, they're top 4.
Bring back Fergie.
Out the top 4.
Bring back Fergie. Bring back Fergie.
Yeah, you're jealous. You're jealous.
You know what? There was a rumor, Ernie. There was a rumor, innit, Ernie?
You're jealous.
There was a rumor, Ernie. Ferguson wanted to come to Chelsea.
He wanted to.
Yeah, he wanted to come down to Chelsea.
Yeah, he was going to watch.
You hear that?
He was going to.
You hear that? There's a rumor. Just imagine if Fergie came down at that time there and managed Chelsea.
No
wow.
No.
It was only rumor. Only rumor.
It's a bad rumor. You know what they say? Don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors.
You know your Radnick guy. Now is time for him to earn his P's. Because you've got these straight games that you're coming up, which are all reasonably.
We've got some big
games. No, Man United's got reasonably some easy games coming through their fixture.
So now you're saying that Newcastle's an easy game?
No, I'm saying reasonably easy for where Manchester United are in the table. A team that finished second. So you've got a string of games taking you, I think it's up until February. You've got a set of easy fixtures, bro.
Okay.
So it starts on the 27th against Newcastle. What are you saying?
Against Newcastle. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tottenham.
What am I saying?
Yeah,
there's only one winner. There's only one winner. That's
not convincing to me, Eddie. Tell me something. If I tell you, hey, what, Chelsea, I got to do this. Chelsea have this from but tell me about, there's only one winner. Yeah, no, that ain't convincing to me at all right there. Because you know how Man United is playing right now. You know that. Come on, man.
Daddy Ernie, you haven't you haven't played since somewhat like the 11th of December, right?
What? Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so you should win. You're well rested.
Live on Sky at 8 o'clock, Ernie.
Well, we had some players that were playing for their country, as we do, because we have a lot of international, world-renowned players who their country likes them to play for them.
So all right.
But as Manchester United, the club itself, we ain't been playing, but we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. It's only what's his name?
Who?
The Titanic.
Oh, that Maguire.
Maguire, centre half. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah. What do you think? He's all right.
He's useless. He's useless.
Nah.
He's useless. I'm telling you.
Seriously, he's not fitted in at all.
Bro, you can't have a centre half that takes 20 minutes to turn round. You can't have that. You have to have a centre half that. Look, and we have to compare him. We have to compare him with Virgil.
Go on.
Right?
Go on, yeah. All right.
Virgil, boom, and he's on ya.
What do you want to compare him with Virgil for?
Pardon?
Why are you comparing him to Virgil for?
Because Virgil cost 75 and he cost 80. So I have to compare him with him. Right? Virgil.
It's apples and oranges. Virgil's a beast and Maguire's Maguire. We are
the standard. Daddy only no one say it. Virgil set the standard.
You want to tell me?
Daddy give no credit.
No. We have to. No. I give Virgil props to the max for 75 million. He's a steal.
What they bought him for?
It's a steal, right?
It's a steal for
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
I have to compare our captain with Virgil.
Do you know
there's no comparison.
Liverpool paid 15 million over the odds because they upset Southampton earlier on in the season.
Bro, if they paid 30 million over the odds, it would be 30 million well spent compared to the Titanic.
But Ernie, get over it. He's your captain. He's your leader.
You can't get over it.
You have to get over it.
And
he's not going to get moved.
Yeah.
He's your captain. So you're playing Newcastle. Let's start again. You're playing Newcastle. You've got a few games coming up. What say are you going to
We will beat Newcastle.
Because Arsenal are proving to manage their games, the games that we would say
they're coming up, bruv.
Arsenal are bruising them. Arsenal
trust me.
Well, I did say at the beginning of the season, Robbo, that we must mind Arsenal because they ain't playing during the week. They haven't got nothing to play for apart from the Premiership. So we have to mind them.
I don't necessarily think it's that though, Daddy Ernie. I think it's more about the characters of the players as opposed to us not playing as opposed to us playing like 1 day per week. Because when you looked at how we started the season, it wasn't convincing, even with the 10 games unbeaten streak. You always know that Arsenal have a blip in them, and they still have a blip in them. It's just the character. Yeah, they 100% have many blips in them. It's just the character. And thankfully, the youngsters within the team, they understand the assignments. Each and every one of them that's given the chance is taking it with both hands, unlike the senior players. And long may it continue, because it's actually working in our favor massively.
Yeah, that
2-0 United, Newcastle a breeze.
Griffith said United are Newcastle are earning their first point.
Who said
that? Uncle Giff.
Giff. But you know, Gifford is a Chelsea man. You know what I
So
mean?
what
You know,
is a Chelsea man? What's he got to? He's telling you what it
We're
is.
just telling you as it is, bro.
yeah, but Gifford
They're
ain't
gonna
really.
earn
Well,
a
because he's a
point.
Chelsea
No,
man.
100%.
Well, hold on. Where they play? Is Newcastle playing at home?
They're playing at home, St
Oh
James's
yeah,
Park.
they're gonna earn a point. Definitely.
Problem.
All right.
They're gonna be up for Man U.
Hey,
I
that
tell you,
Everybody's up for Man U.
that
Everybody.
ground's going to be
Brother.
rammed.
you know the
Everybody-
manager there. You know
Everybody's
the boy.
up for United. Everybody, no matter where they are in the league, they could be bottom anywhere. They turn up for Manchester United. But you see, right now, Ralph is at the wheel.
All right. Ranker.
Ralph is
Ernie,
he's controlling the tank.
Ernie, you're not convincing, man.
What do you mean, ain't? All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, we'll see
I thought
what
you were going
happens.
to give us a compelling reason why you think Man United is going to. It's just all because now we laughed at.
Ranker.
Now you're telling me you're going to win. You're going to win.
You want a compelling why I think that
Yeah,
Manchester United is going to beat Newcastle?
Yeah.
Because Ranić is slowly but surely, he's only been there a little while, he's giving them an identity and a philosophy, the way that he wants to play the game, right? You know, see that, what's his name? And we was
Wait a
having
minute.
discussion.
Did you say philosophy?
Yeah.
We was having,
Did you say philosophy? Ernie?
yes.
No,
Yes.
I just saw that in the Evening Standard, that word. So I don't know. Hold on, you must have been reading the same paper.
No.
Philosophy? Leave me out, son.
That's a hard word.
Leave me out. No, that's why I said, hold on. Where did you yet to use that word with
Being a
Man U?
Chelsea supporter, that is very hard for you to understand. Right? So I make allowances.
Oh,
right?
that's a classic. That's a classic.
Here what
I don't care. That's a classic.
Why is it
Ralph
philosophy,
has
Ernie?
got them playing, right? You see, Ronaldo, when Ollie was there, he wouldn't press. You see the 2 games that he's got.
It's only 2 games, Ernie.
I said, you see the 2 games that Ralph has got him up there on his own, he's pressing. No losing the ball and he's walking around like he owns the stadium and all that. Man have to work. And the Ralph's going to say, yeah, hold a bench. Ollie weren't saying that. And my man is talking properly. He's talking like how Alex used to talk.
How do you know you're not in the ground? You're
No,
not in
but
the-
I know. I have inside information. He's talking. And the players are
Deal with
reacting.
it.
So, don't worry. You will see the philosophy, you know, Paul. Shortly, you're going to see the philosophy, you know. Right?
Okay.
Right? You
I don't hear that
Rob,
word. Philosophy in football. No, well, I like it. I ain't heard that word for a long time.
Ernie, I thought Ernie was going to come good.
I know he's going to come, but anyway, let's see that little surge. If it comes, then yeah. Let's see that little surge. If Man United can do that. Yeah.
So, Crystal, Norwich versus Arsenal. I feel that Arsenal are
They walk that. They
playing,
walk that.
playing good enough football, but that manager down at Mr. Smith down at Norwich, I'm sure he's not going to want his team who he wants to. He's trying to make them play a brand of football, and he's going to look over and he's going to see Arteta and he's going to think, I can have these guys. What do you reckon? You're away on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just down to Dean Smith alone, then we've lost it because we saw what they did to us last season. I think that was the first time in many, perhaps maybe over a decade, something along those lines, that Aston Villa did the double over us in the league, and it was just problematic and shameful as well. Obviously,
who done the double over you?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, and rightly so. And obviously, there's the difference in the caliber of players that's at Norwich compared to Aston Villa. But at one point, before Norwich went down to the Championship, they were like that bogey, problematic team with like Pookie and a few of their other youngsters as well. So if he can get them to click, hopefully they click after Boxing Day. If they click on Boxing Day, then it could prove to be a tough away battle for Arsenal.
And you've kind of jumped a few hurdles in the last few months, but
yeah.
You're going to have to do this for the rest of the season if you
exactly. If they're serious about solidifying their spot in the top 4, bearing in mind that Man U have about 2 to 3 games in hand, and you don't know how that's going to go. If you really want to take yourself serious and just nail down a top 4 position, then these are the games that you need to win. Like, no one cares about what you did last week. Come Boxing Day, nobody's going to be saying, oh, but they won last week or the week before. No one cares about that. It's just here and now, and that's the mindset that they have to carry on with. And that's why I said it's just about the character of this team at the moment, and the character is looking really positive, like they're all just reading from the same script, if you want to call it that. So it should be 3 points in the bag on Boxing Day for them. Hopefully.
That weren't working any. Put it down. Yeah.
So
do
Paul,
you hear that early? That there by Talawa, sorry, Christy, was philosophy. Me tell you that right there, yeah? That's what me want to hear. You understand that, early? All right, come, Bobby.
Bear in mind, Crystal, that they are going to be looking for. They don't win usually this time of the year, Norwich, because they're always at the bottom. Yeah. Their problems are compounded by Christmas, but then they start to pick up after Christmas when they realize, oops, we're at the bottom of the table. They'll be looking for a victory, though.
100%. 100%.
The crowd's going to be out as well.
Yeah.
So Paul, you guys have got interesting match coming up against Steven Gerrard. The guy who really joined Chelsea. Was convinced by a few people down at the local pub that it would be a wrong move. He told his dad outside the pub, your son can't go Chelsea, you know.
Yeah. We'll deal with him. Do something.
We'll deal with him. And he didn't end up at Chelsea, but he doesn't like Chelsea. Chelsea don't like Steven Gerrard. You're away to Chelsea to Aston Villa. Could your problems start
from the time? Yeah. From the time him slip up, at home, from that day him ate us. When him slip up and who's the boy that went on and scored?
Centre forward.
Yeah, who was it? He was at West Ham. He went. Was it?
Demba Bao.
Yeah. And went on the scores from that day.
Yeah.
Remember it? He slipped up, get the ball and went whoop. Yeah. And Demba Bao just rounded the keeper, bam. Yeah. That day, trust me. So, but you know what? You know, you got to watch this because look where my boys come up from. He come up from Rangers. Now, this is what I don't understand, the two. Lampard was down at Derby, learning a trade and management.
He was doing nothing poor about learning a trade.
This is what it was. He was learning a trade. And same thing for my boy, was learning a trade at Rangers. Now, I still thought, don't get me wrong, it was still too early to bring him to Chelsea, Lampard. That was my real opinion, don't get me wrong, and probably that's how it happened and such. With my boy now, I don't think it's the right time to bring him at Aston Villa at such. Don't get me wrong, look at the league down in at Rangers. How many times do they play each other? 1, 2, 3. About 4 times,
Four times, I think. Yeah,
4 times, you know.
Yeah.
Come on. That's a totally, don't get me wrong, and no disrespect to the Scottish League, but 4 times, you're seeing the same teams. Now, for him to come here now, don't get me wrong, first 2 games, managers bring up something new, because that's how it's going to be. If a new manager is bringing something new, players are buzzing, here what, I've got a chance. You know what I mean? Didn't have a chance before when the old manager was there, but now my boys coming there. I've got a chance. The boys are all buzzing. You know what I mean? 2 games they played, performed and stuff.
Very good against Liverpool. I mean,
defended. They were lucky they lost. Don't get me wrong. But I think like Villa is like our bogey side, to be honest. Like when my boy was there, who's the flair player who's gone Man City now?
Grealish.
Don't get me wrong. He was always producing something. I didn't think too much of him. He's a good player, flair player, but I don't think too much of him. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I think Villa's been our bogey side, to be honest. So get a result there. I'd like to say that from Brentford's result, the 2-0, Kanté, if he's back in form. Who's another player? I know my boy just mentioned him, but I don't rate him too much there in the midfield.
Who?
I think not the Italian boy. Oh God, oh Lord, he's just coming back. Who is it? My boy mentioned him just now. Scully. He's coming back from injury as well, apparently.
Not Kovacic.
Yeah, Kovacic.
Kovacic.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't rate him too much, to be honest. I really don't. But like with Kanté, he knew what he's got in there from the left. If Alonso he'd attacks, because he can attack. And you got Reece from the right, and you got Mount in the middle with him. Let Mount do the one. Don't get me wrong. We had Loftus-Cheek, and I thought he was doing well when he was playing as well. Don't get me wrong. A player that when he came out from Crystal Palace, he had so much confidence in him because he was buzzing.
He's a talented.
He's a talented player, and he just needs more games. He needs to be in there, and I'm telling you, it'd be formidable. But yeah, I mentioned Kanté so many times. We need him back. That I'd like to say we get a result.
You didn't get a result last season. They
I know.
beat you 2-1.
I know, and we had our team there, but I'd like to say we get a result because of what happened at Brentford. A little rest in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Villa takes it 2-1.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
That'd be good for you, Crystal.
Yeah, just commenting on what Paul said with regards to Steven Gerrard. I think of Steven Gerrard, like when you look at him and Lampard in terms of their come up, perhaps Steven is more pleasing on the eye in terms of how he came to being in the Premier League, because even though Rangers have Jamaican players and obviously my platform tracks Jamaican players, I didn't have that keen of an interest to watch Scottish Premier League. But being that Rangers had Kemar Roofe, who now represents Jamaica, and the way that Gerrard was going about his business, obviously we know that he went through the whole season unbeaten, and he did it at a time where everybody was just focused on Celtic. So to all then just wash Celtic, do the season unbeaten, and put Rangers back at the top. I think that's the reason why people are more like warm towards Gerrard in comparison to Lampard. Because Lampard, people just argue that it's just privilege that got you where you are. But Gerrard is just like the proof is right in front of you, challenge after challenge.
I think he would enjoy the matchup against we're talking about Lampard and Gerrard, but obviously Lampard had the privilege of managing Chelsea. Gerrard hasn't had the privilege of managing a massive club, but I think he wants to do himself. But him coming up against a manager like Tuchel, it's going to be really interesting. Shouts going to Gus Benjamin. Just comments. Big up Victoria Aztec, chiming in from I can't remember which part you said. Texas in the building. Sean Wallace rightly pointed out the defensive weakness and his fears at the time 4 weeks ago. So said, so be done. Chelsea's defense is creaking a bit. It does need some reinforcement. What do you think about Ernie? What do you think about Mendy? We were applauding Mendy as he's coming in the league and he has done really well. Shot stopping, all those things that you think good on his feet. Good with his hands, and then all of a sudden, he's just wobbled.
The wheels has come off. I don't know if he's kind of got used to the Premiership, and maybe he thinks it's a lot simpler than it is. But I can assure you that it's not. And he's been making 1 and 2 howlers, really and truly. You know what I mean? So he's made some howlers, like how my man, England's #1 keeper. Everton, Pickford.
He's not as bad as Pickford.
He made a couple of howlers like Pickford. He ain't as bad as him, but he's made a couple of howlers like Pickford. That's cost Chelsea individual points.
Do you think so?
Yeah, man.
Really? No, I don't.
Come on, he's nowhere near what he was before.
No, don't get me wrong.
He's chopped off
you're gonna see that, and don't get me wrong. When he come up, when you're new, you stand out. You'll see when it's don't get me wrong. When this boy come along, and Mendy come along, for me, first thing, and I don't want to talk about racism, but when man just mentioned, boy, Cannon's a black keeper. I mean, What? Yeah. What's that mean? What are you saying? What, we can't employ black keepers? But this brother come in and he played his ground. This brother was strong. We needed somebody to talk. But don't get me wrong. You see the keeper now that we had there from Spear. Ooh, the little one there.
Keeper,
Yeah,
Kepa.
Kepa. He's
Yeah,
buzzing because
he's
he
going
lost
on.
a little confidence, but he's now buzzing.
Yeah, he's
Trust
going.
me, man.
He's going on.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. That's the whole idea when you got two keepers like that. If one is buzzing, you've got to play him. You know what I mean? If you drop a little form, and Mendy's been playing, don't get me wrong, since the Champions League to now, and whatever. Maybe a little confidence, just, scooped up on him. You put in the little Kepa. Because he is buzzing right now.
Yeah.
And we had a trouble.
Alisson has
See,
been.
I like he. He's the best. Thank you. Mendy is one of the best keepers in the Premier right now.
Alisson's had games where he's, even the game against Tottenham would not have been got that draw against Liverpool if Alisson did come out and just clear the ball, just put it in the stand.
There you go.
Yeah.
What he was doing, we don't know.
Yeah.
I think Mendy's one has been highlighted because they've come back to back. So,
Yeah.
but Man City's goalkeeper, Alisson, they have made some horrific mistakes, and I've watched Alisson make some horrific mistakes, but they don't usually come back to back.
What's his name's made some horrific mistakes as well. De Gea.
Oh, De Gea's had it. Once De Gea's confident went,
Right.
you're watching a different footballer.
That's probably the knock-on effect of his surroundings, though. Like if everyone collectively is feeling depleted, then your confidence automatically going to be not.
Oh, of course it will be.
Yeah.
The boys in front of you ain't playing well. You're confident. That's how it was. And that's how last season we were leaking in goals because the defense wasn't confident with the keeper and the keeper weren't confident with the defense. You're letting in goals.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we've got a keeper in Mendy who's come along strong. Boys knows exactly where Mendy wants him. He's vocally talking like that. Bro, if you don't hear our keeper behind you at set pieces and at corners and you think it's quiet, you're looking like, well, where does he want us? What? But when you hear and you don't have to turn, bro, I'm telling you, this is the man.
Yeah.
And that's the strength you need. Come to the keeper now.
We're looking for him to definitely make improvement. I don't want to see Mendy drop the ball. No time. Shouts to Gifford again. He said, Tallow, I totally agree with you. If you're on Facebook, press the share button now. Just do it now. I see 5 people on my page sharing, which is nice. It's lovely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Press that button now, and we are going to press a button because Santa's
Eddie's alive. Eddie's alive. Where you at there, Eddie? Eddie, get cool. Eddie, where you put them in the shed? You put him in the shed?
Eddie, is Robert around? Eddie, how are you going to do this?
Robert, is Robert around?
How are you going to do this? All those presents.
It's my youngest birthday today, so please forgive me. But you don't have had me again, like Kunta waiting in the room listening to you. I was just sending a message because I'm watching. We just got. If you look in there, you can see I just not a keeper in the world that hasn't had a dip in form.
Exactly, I just see that for real.
Not a keeper, and it runs like that, you know. And
exit time. For
you're
real.
standing there for 80 minutes, nothing to do, and then all of a sudden you got to be on point. So the concentration is different.
Yes, Patrick.
Benefit season's greetings, my brother.
Well, particularly to you, Crystal. Greetings to you.
Thank you, Mr. Nesta.
You had the 2 old fat fellas up the top, and I really but with them, you know?
What's she saying?
I haven't missed the last few weeks, you know? So what have you not talked about whether it was a sending off against Liverpool? Crystal, was that privilege? Did I see privilege?
That is privilege.
Oh, that's privilege. That's privilege.
100%.
It wasn't even worth talking about that. It weren't worth talking about, Eddie.
It is worth talking about. It's always worth talking about privilege. When you don't talk about it,
trying to achieve by talking about, we talk about Lewis Hamilton, we talk about the privileged England manager. What are we going to achieve here?
Listen, listen to me good, right? I used to watch my mum change the way she spoke when white people came on the phone. I used to watch her change her whole body language, right?
Hello.
And them days are gone. You call it out. You think you can say what you like about Jewish people or transgender people or whatever. You have to talk it. And if you don't want to talk it, you chipmunk, shut up. But we are going to talk it.
Go ahead, Paul. Start. So what are you saying? The
Do you
referees.
remember, Canis, do you remember, I think me and Ernie was arguing about it in the week. Do you remember when Alan Shearer did that tackle? And then first thing he did, he looked around. Like, if you go through a traffic light and it's just turning.
And it turned.
And the first thing you do when you go through it, you look in the window and say,
Of course. See, and the police say, yeah, you got to. Hold on. Where'd that come from? Hold on, what's that?
right.
To make sure.
It's
Bro.
privilege. Pogba did
Trust
that
me.
and they sent him
Yes,
off the pitch.
exactly.
Exactly the same tackle.
Exactly.
See?
Yeah.
Nah. Come on,
I'm
man.
saying, Eddie, everybody saw that. We heard the referees. We haven't heard
But
the
you-
referees come out. Hang on.
Yeah.
We haven't heard the referees
I
come out
apologize.
and say anything.
I apologize.
And the game is set up so the referees don't have to come out. And then on Sky, the day after, they had one of their former referees
Referee, come out
he
and said.
did not say. He said the boot wasn't high enough. So
Right.
I'm saying, why I say, what do you do about it? You can call it out as much as you like. If you're not speaking to those referees or the guys who manage the referees,
Let me give it to you a different way. The same said Alan Shearer came out and said the standard of refereeing is not good enough. They might not listen to us in here. They will listen to him because he's on the BBC. He's on the most watched program, and it will put pressure on them. Can you
agree with
remember
that.
when
I agree with that.
Raheem Sterling, when Raheem Sterling became a man, was when he looked at a youth player, a black kid, and he looked at Foden. And when Foden built the house for his mother, they said, look at this magnificent human being. Look what he's done. And when the black fella did it, they said he was a show. And he showed it to them in print. Have to talk. All this staying quiet nonsense. Talk it.
I'm hearing you,
At
bro.
the end of that, Eddie, he should have gone.
Yeah.
He should have got sent off. There's no doubts about that. And well, what can I mean? You know, there was a well-known thing that a certain individual said that, you know, if you're gonna take away the England captaincy from me, I'm gonna resign. And he resigned before they took away the England captaincy from him because he know he had done wrong. So it's not something that happens that ain't been happening. It's happening, and it'll happen again. You know what I mean? Sugar Strain is just
I'll sit with him. You can sit with him, Harry Kane, and I will call names. You can sit with Slabhead, Maguire. You can sit with Grealish at 100 million. There is a different standard, and there is a privilege, and there is a premium on being a white English fan.
I mean, Richards is.
Grealish and Foden kept a little dance the other day. Pep went to
The
Barcelona.
media very quiet though.
Pep went to Barcelona. And said, right now, you look and have a moment. The man them kept a dance. They emptied out the bar, and Pep said, "You ain't playing the next game, and even the game after that." But the press has kept it quiet. We all know about it because we were wondering, where is Foden? Is Grealish on the bench? And came out afterwards. But these guys were emptying the bar, bro. Pogba goes to Dubai. It's a crisis.
Yeah. It's got to be hard, though. If you're that fit, that sexy, that rich, after a while, computer love ain't really doing it for you, you know?
Well, you're like that, innit, Eddie? You're quite sexy and rich. You got a nice little Christmas.
I was in Westfield today with the youth for his birthday. We just come from watching Spider-Man. The brother man, I nearly got up and took off my shoe and looking. Brother man said, "Are you with your grandchildren?"
Yo.
What are you laughing at? You know, I'm a young boy. Me and Crystal is about the same age.
Wait. Westfield, you don't have to take out your shoe. Enough shoe shopping there can take a shoe. I went in there the other day. That's what I said. I don't like walking Westfield at all. No,
you know, Richard Smith has got one. I mean, this is the one that, you know, really turned me against Shearer. Shearer kicked Lennon in the head and never got no sanction as they were due to play in the World Cup. I remember that distinctly, nearly blind Lennon. And no sanction, got away with it clean as a whistle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know the one I remember like that? Remember Ian Wright and our goalkeeper? You remember You could read the words
Yes,
that he
Michael.
said.
Yeah.
You remember that one, Robo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one
yeah,
flipping now.
Ian was
Wow.
fuming, man.
That tackle. Ooh.
yeah.
Clearer than Frank Lampard. Not Frank Lampard, John Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Against what's his name? Rio's brother.
Yeah.
Summerson, mate.
Yeah, that was horrendous.
Brother, look.
Upset because it was a
We
stolen
were
goal.
friendly.
What a thing.
There was a friendly in the preseason, and I went down to America, and I'll tell you who they was playing. Chelsea was playing Paris Saint-Germain, and I'll tell you who was playing. The big boy, you had him, the striker there, the Swedish boy. The Swedish boy he had at Man United.
Zlatan
Ibrahimovic. He was playing Paris. Brother, what? Terry went out with a tackle. Stop and look at him and say, are you mad? Brother, I do kung fu, you know. Don't play. No. Terry was quiet, brother. Quiet after that. Don't play with that brother, you know. When he play football, he's playing karate football too. Don't play with him. He's a big lad as well. You ain't seen him. No. When you see a lad on the pitch too, he's a big lad. I never realized this man. He's a very big lad. There's no knocking this boy. Because I see him in little tassel when he went to America. Who did he play for? One of them American team. I brought a touch him on his head. He said, "You slap him one slap. He don't care."
But do you remember the little video when Bailly was trying to play with him and he turned around, Bailly run?
Brother, come on, man. There's a brother you could threaten about. It's him, Zlatan. You'd threat about him, brother. Seriously. He could look after himself. Don't play with that. Don't play with that.
Hey, can I ask you something, Paul? Drogba didn't play about. I mean, there's a lot
Drogba, all right, when he started.
Serious guy away from the, like in the dressing room, he had things under control.
Brother, he had respect from his players, his teammates. Simple as. When he came at first, the fans gave him so much stick because we saw this guy, a big 6 foot something, was dropping just like that. Wait, hold on. A little tap, the man, he dropping and rolling. He was rolling. And that man started to go on. No, we got on him. And don't get me wrong, I got on him and said, but this man come up from front. Well, you rolling, no, he can't do this here. Not in this Premiership or at the time Division 1. Brother, after that, when he realized it looked like somebody touched him, you can't do this. Yeah? Hold the ball. You have the strength to hold the ball, head the ball, take a shot. When we saw that from Drogba, after that, you saw the turnaround. Brother was hitting balls 30 yards out. Brother was heading the ball. Brother was taking and holding the ball. And that was saying, damn, we can't do without this guy. Remember the boy we had before? Who was the Spanish boy we had before? I'm terrible with him. We needed him. Was it him?
No, before Torres. You're talking about
after Torres.
You had him here for a few seasons.
After Torres, the Spanish. No, he's Brazilian, but he played in Spain.
Costa.
Oh, De Costa.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Brother, Costa was an English player. Don't care. Costa was. I couldn't run at Costa, and that was when we could. Did we get rid of no? Because Drogba left, didn't it? And we then got Costa.
Yeah.
Brother, don't need to come in. What happened?
Was he one of the best you've seen?
Yes. Drogba and Costa. Drogba, unbelievable finish. This guy, let me tell you something. Champions League for me, when we don't get me wrong, nobody expected the result when we was playing Bayern Munich and in Germany as well. When they went 1-0 up, last couple of minutes, and that corner, and you gotta understand it was Drogba's last game. Yeah. And that header, brother, that head was not even written. It wasn't written, brother. That whoop went in. After that, bro, you gotta say it was Drogba's day. That's all I could say to you. It was Drogba's day.
But Paul, he used to produce. When he wanted to produce, it doesn't matter what team, what day.
When he talked, look, all right, I had him on Black and Blue, my event there, right? And it was, I'll tell you who it was. Oh, God. Frank Sinclair, Paul Elliott, who is it? Oh, he was the manager when they won the Champions League. with the Italian boy. Who's the guy? Eddie Newton.
Mhm.
And when they won the Champions League, this is what the boy done, you know. The boy bought rings, Champions League rings. That's what he got done for every player. This is what the man done, you know. Champions League ring, diamonds. It cost now the amount Eddie said about $1 million. All the players, it cost $1 million. And he got all the players that played in that game, or in that game was involved. Ring. He bought it out of his own pocket. This is Drogba, you know. Brother, when you say that here, man.
Off the pitch, he was big. I think he built
Off
a
the pitch, he was
hospital.
big.
Yeah,
Brother.
he stopped a civil war, and he
Yeah.
He built a hospital, but they tried to run him down to say like he done with the money or something and so forth. But it was the people that he allowed to run it for him that was, you know what I mean, really messed up and thing. And they were trying to run his name, and I'm sorry, I hated that. You know what I mean? This is a man who wanted to do good for his people and so forth, build a hospital, and because it never went so, they were like, oh, Drogba this, Drogba that. Trust me, bro. I wanted to meet this guy. I met him when I was doing my hospitality duties, and we met him at the Millennium. And I went, and you know when you would hear whispers, hey, it's Drogba. I said, oh, God damn, shit. And I just opened the door like, and I said, yeah, hi, Joe. You know who I am. I know who you are, Paul. I know who you are, Paul. I just went like that, you know. I didn't even take a photo of the brother. I was like, you know, I wanted to take a photo of this, but I was so shocked. So, brother, the man know me. He know me. Brother, you don't know. Yeah, man, Doug, man, I respect you. You don't know how that carries for me. When he said, I know of you, Paul. And yeah, that was enough for me, bro. That was enough for me.
That was like when I met Eddie Nesta many years ago when he first started. And he never had the beard.
Eddie,
are you
Eddie, like how you're here, and we've had a conversation, and you said talk the thing. There's a lot of people out there who are looking to have. Let me welcome Junior Rodigan's in the house. Let me welcome him all the way from Canada in building.
What?
Junior,
go on, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Eddie, I'm going to ask you a question, Eddie. Africa Cup of Nations. Richard Smith has mentioned it in the comments. That there's a lot of people that would like to see the Africa Cup of Nations cancelled. Samuel Eto'o's been talking about it, been promoting it very well as one of the spokesmen for the tournament. What do you think of the current situation? I mean, we're here on this side of the world. On the other side of the world, as you know, they want to see football in Africa. They want to see a tournament. What's your view?
Well, you're starting at the end. Really, you've got to go a bit further back. A few weeks ago, we had 11 African countries blacklisted. Nigeria made a stand. They did it. Which European countries haven't sold a patent for COVID, for the vaccine, in order for people in Africa to be dealt with? They have rates of COVID less than the rates in England. And, well, going back to Tottenham, in the Confederation Cup, they kicked Tottenham out because Tottenham had COVID. Football is rotten with corruption. Because if you look at FIFA, and this is Wenger saying this, they want to have the World Cup every 2 years. Now, if they have the World Cup every 2 years, you can't have the African Cup of Nations. African Cup of Nations is the most hugely disruptive tournament out of all of them. All of the tournaments take place in closed season. They accommodate people. The one where you know, like Liverpool, are going to lose 2 of the 3 best strikers in the Premier League it through January. And at some point, whether it was legitimate or, in my thoughts, subversive means, they were going to discredit this tournament because there's too much money riding on the time. You're going to take Mo Salah out of action, the guy who is probably the best player in the world right now.
Well,
you can't. What, to play in Africa?
Buzzing.
To play in Africa? Come on. That's the way. Sorry, that's not the way I see it. By the way,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I think they see it. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like that's what I was saying. So sorry to answer your question with such a long answer, but I think Africa Cup of Nations is in a problem right now because there's no point. There's no money generated in it, and so there's no point in it from their perspective.
Well, listen, we've got a few weeks before there's going to be it's going to be called whether it's going to go ahead or if it's not. Soon as we pass this Christmas period, they are going to make a decision. What percent do you reckon it's going to be? 70 that it happens, or is it? Because I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's 70 that it doesn't happen. What do you think it's going to be?
I would be really surprised if it didn't happen. Maybe if there were rising rates of COVID, and where's it being? Is it Cameroon? Where's it? Is it being played at Cameroon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameroon.
So you really got to go. How many people have been vaccinated? What are the rates? And remember, with football, you're going to have people traveling from each of those 54 countries in the continent to this one place. Remember, the Caribbean don't want people unless they're vaccinated. Whatever your views are on vaccination, if they can put forward a valid argument that the risk outweighs any possible gains, then it's very, very unlikely that tournament will take place.
Crazy. Junior, thanks, Eddie. Junior Rodigan in the building. Broadcaster extraordinaire.
Yep.
Stateside.
Football aficionado, because he likes coming up on the old football.
Yeah, time. What's up, Junior? How are you, man?
Greetings. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to you.
Good to have you on the show. Now, this man I've heard during his live streams commentating on his own, does it by himself, Eddie, commentating Tottenham's matches. It's hilarious. He's passionate. He's a DJ, but you should take it up for a living, man. The in-between links between the Tottenham matches. I mean, they must be enjoying that on your side of the waters, right?
Yeah, I mean, over here, NBC, the big network, signed the deal, and we get to see more Premier League matches than you all do over there for absolutely free. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get to watch pretty much all the teams except for Newcastle. Nobody wants to see them. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, even Norwich games, you know? So I see a lot of Leeds. You know, I see a lot of Leeds. I hope they stay up because they're good for the Premier League. I see all the top 4, top 6, top 7, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's really good. I mean, after years of having to actually in the 80s and early 90s, you had to get on a train, go near Harvard University. There's like a big news agent there where would bring in like the overnight papers from the plane. You know, you have to go all the way there to look in the back of like the Sunday Telegraph or something to see if your team won or lost on Saturday. And you know, it's amazing the difference. You know what I mean?
Why did you start live streaming the games? I mean,
way back before COVID, like when there was Periscope and stuff. Yeah. I'm like a closet wannabe John Motson. You know what I mean? From way back, from when I was a little kid, I used to record myself on tapes, commentating games and stuff. So, you know, I was at Wembley when he won a trophy way back, the FA Cup days with Ardiles and Ricky Villa. You know, I was there in the first match, the 1-1 with Man City. Almost died when we scored. You know, when they had the terraces and to stand. You know what I mean? I was a kid, so we went and stood by the railings. Well, you don't want your team to score if you're standing by those railings, man, because the whole section pushes forward. Yeah, man, it's scary. But
was people out in Boston actually tuning in because they tuned you as a DJ? But
no, people listen from, because I was doing it on Periscope, Robo, to begin with. You know what I mean? Now there's no Periscope, so I kind of switched to Twitter, the Twitter Periscope thing. They don't really tell you where they're listening from, but some of the comments, some people are listening from different parts of the US. Some people are listening actually from the UK and stuff where they can't watch the game. And they can't listen to the radio broadcast. And then some people are like all over the place. But people come in and out. You know, it's not like you're like regular listeners, but a couple of people text and say, oh, are you going to be doing like the, you know, Tottenham Everton today? Are you going to be doing Tottenham Liverpool? Sometimes I don't want to do them because I get too emotional. You know what I mean? So I leave it up.
That's what makes it good. I interviewed a guy from Portland who flew over to see Tottenham play Burnley, and then the game was cancelled.
Yeah, it was.
It was a
Yeah.
fantastic interview.
Over, man.
I asked him if people was coming to carry him home, if he was having psychiatric treatment. Watch Tottenham.
But I just want to say one thing. I'm so happy that Conte's here. I was a very, 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 very anti-Nuno from day one. This guy just didn't know what he was doing, and he proved it. I'm so happy he's here. The changes are already being seen by everybody with one eye, much less two. And I'm so looking forward. We got one down, West Ham, out of the way, revenge. London revenge coming between this Sunday, Palace, and then we got Arsenal.
Hey, run it.
We got Arsenal in January at home. We got Chelsea 3 times, Robo. 3 times in January.
That's right, bruv. You ready for that, yeah?
That could be Chelsea Arsenal final, isn't it?
They don't even need no motivational speech, man. They know what they did in the first round. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Come on. 3-0. 3 derbies in a row. You want to lose 3-0? Now you better go with 4-0.
But before that, you have a derby. You got Crystal Palace coming up. On
big game.
That's not a big game.
Them dead, bro. Them dead. Because what they're gonna do is he's gonna like disable Carragher, and he's just gonna get physical on Zaha. But they're gonna make sure this time Tanner ain't getting sent off, because Zaha wanna get on. Zaha's like a Tevez, man. He gets under your skin. You know what I mean?
Good player.
But isn't he the player that Tottenham most wanted?
Zaha.
Dara.
When?
Wait.
Tottenham wanted.
A couple seasons ago, you wanted to buy
They
him.
didn't want to pay the money for it.
Recently?
Yeah.
No, this was last year.
Before the season, last year.
About 3 managers ago.
3 managers ago, we needed just anyone, but the guy wouldn't sign no one, and we still made it to the That was the worst. But for me, the decline of Poch and Tottenham until now was when Moussa Dembele got injured. The November of that season when we got to the Champions League, he got injured in November. He transferred in January. He didn't play any games after that November. If you go see what we did that December onwards without him, we played shit in the Premier League. We played terrible.
What are you telling me that was Moussa Dembele?
Yeah. Most underrated player ever in the Premier League, I think. Dembele. He held that team together.
Poch called him a genius, man.
Could see that.
I disagree, guys. I don't think so.
Yeah, but Robbo, it's about keeping the ball. The ball comes out of the box. Dembele finds it. Dembele does his little 360 where nobody can figure out where the fuck is he going with the ball. You know what I mean? And then he turns around, goes forward, and he passes it to Ericsson, and the rest is history. Once he got injured, even Ericsson and Dele Alli stopped being Ericsson and Dele Alli after Dembele went up.
Listen, I would agree with you in Ericsson, Dele Alli, and Dembele. I think they were key. Well, listen, you watch Tottenham more than me. Are you going to be covering the game on Boxing Day?
Yeah, because you know now I'm hyped up. You know what I'm saying? You know, they already know. You know, we just go give it to them when they're coming.
Can I ask one thing, please? I heard a rumor this week. I ain't got nothing to do because I hate Tottenham and I just keep reading about them. There is a Twitter post this week that's now been found by thousands of people asking people to apologize to Eric Dyer. Have you seen that one? All the people
no, but they should. Yeah, I've seen it. They should, because he's our best player over the course of the entire season. Nuno and Conte has been our best player, consistent. And mind you, remember in the Palace game, Lloris made a little garish pass out of the box, and Dyer did something to himself, and he got subbed out at 12 minutes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think Eric Dyer has been our best player. I don't deny that.
Hey, you wouldn't mind that, Ernie. Eric Dyer, Maguire holding the back line for Man United. That'd be a dream, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you what. I'd rather have Dyer than Maguire.
Jeez. Hey, so listen.
Oh, come on. Nah, Maguire is good for a goal in each game of a corner. If you guys can get your corners right.
Yeah, he's good. He's good to let in a couple of goals as well.
Rodigan, how can they listen to it? I want them to check your stream because I enjoyed listening to it. How do they catch your stream when Tottenham are on? How do they find you?
I what I do is I go on Periscope is no longer. Periscope is no longer, but if you go on my Twitter page, it will just pop up. Sometimes I try to get noticed while I'm too busy doing the graphics for it. And then it's also on my YouTube live. So it's on either or, but most of the viewers are on Twitter because if you use hashtags right away, I think all of y'all should do something for your team. You know what I mean? Because people value you and they like to hear your voice doing a little commentary and even do it together, especially if your teams are playing against one another. Do it together, you know, like when they used to do the fan commentary thing on TV way back then.
I think I might do a day with Eddie because he talks enough rubbish. Yeah. Listen, Junior. Strong DJ in the culture out there as well, man. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah, man. Follow you, bro, man.
Make sure you follow him, Junior Rodigan. Bless up. There you go, Junior Rodigan.
Take care.
Yeah, I think we should do that one. I think we should do that for the new year. We'll definitely do them. Like this guy was doing that match commentary long before it's kind of really become popular, but he is actually funny.
But Crystal, do you remember I said when we beat Tottenham, it was the worst thing because we won the match, but they won the battle. It was like a Pyrrhic victory because he's got to be a top 5 manager in the world, hasn't he? Tottenham's manager. So
Definitely.
I wouldn't say they're necessarily going to be top 4, but they've got a lot of games in hand now. I would just be careful with them now.
Yeah, they've got a sublime manager. I actually wanted you guys to do what Chelsea did to you with John Obi Mikel when he was apparently going to Manchester United and then went to Chelsea. I was hoping you guys would do the reverse with Tottenham. And but unfortunately it never happened. But yeah, they don't want him at Tottenham because it's frightening. The potential that he could instill into that team could easily outweigh Mauricio Pochettino. But hopefully there is a God and that won't happen because it is Tottenham. But he's an outstanding manager. But I don't like Tottenham.
All of a sudden the red half of London.
Yeah, never upset Patrick. Sorry, Patrick. All right, Merry Christmas, Patrick.
Everybody gets
it. Yeah, Patrick Day. Gentlemen, I gotta go for my dinner food, man. I'm starving. It's been a long day. So you what? Man. It's always an honor to be on there.
Congratulations on all you're doing, brother, man.
Thank you, man. Continue to do that for next year. Well, definitely. When you're ready, yeah. Tell me where you are on visit, yeah.
How can they find you on the social? Because you're up there.
Oh gosh, it's either on Twitter, King Canners. On Instagram, the Canners Way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just watching what I'm doing. And the Facebook is the same thing. The Canners Way. It's really just uploading what I'm doing. And right now, being an ambassador for Crime Stoppers, fearless organization for the youngsters to now report a crime. Because, you know what I mean? It's not about being a grass. You're not a snitch. It's about now looking after your community. Come on, man. Right now, this fear of now going behind, you know what I mean, and reporting a crime without getting intentionally their families and being attacked and yourself being attacked, it's gone too far now. So I'm looking so forward. I want everybody to support this. I want getting all in football to support this because these kids today, you know what I mean? I keep saying it. Not every youth is a criminal. No. But it's like they're seen as they are, and they're not.
They're not.
You know what I mean? They really want to do some good for their community, but not given a chance. So this is the chance for them to, you know what I mean? And get all that rubbish out of the community. I'm sorry, don't need it. It's a bad name, and that's all you're knowing. It's just giving them a bad name, and people are seeing us black people or the black youngsters. Yeah, that's all they know. That's all they're good for. They're not good for that. There's better. So big. I'm going to be there. Don't get me wrong. You know how it was for this year, the whole of this year. Trust me. So me to see this year Christmas, I'm gonna take this.
Mine. Paul, just be
I'm looking
careful
at it.
what you eat after, because you just kind of like got into this prosecco loving, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a
Kind of-
all right.
yeah, listen,
Don't worry about that.
you just can't
All right.
eat-
You see,
Paul,
I'm just drink Crystal.
Listen,
All
you can't
this.
eat anything. You can't just eat anything after drinking.
I'm telling you, what's that?
Might not hurt your stomach.
Cherries, yeah.
Hey,
Rock
tell me
that
that
up.
cherries, man.
And
Them
here what you
cherries,
do.
yeah.
Paul, here what you do. Get some rice and peas up in that sweet because we're coming.
No, I already tell him.
Very good
I
as
tell him.
well,
You know when I
Paul.
tell him point them, I say, "Hey, what? I want
Tell
to get
him
some
brother
jerk
make some
chicken in
pig.
there." They tell me some jerk chicken. Some
Yeah, what
jerk
happened?
chicken. I say, "Yeah, man, get some jerk chicken in there." What? Don't get me wrong.
Jerk chicken and a pot of sauce because me
He said,
and Eddie's coming.
Tell
now.
him brother
trouble
Vince don't
myself.
play.
Don't trouble myself, brother.
Yeah,
Myself in there. Nobody allowed to come in there. Me tell you that. Nobody allowed to come in the place with their sauce in there. If you ever ask them that way that they're serving in there, say, Paul,
Christmas pork
if
in the
you
thing,
ever
man.
was to bring a menu in there, I know you kill it. I know. Trust me. They wouldn't want to go out and watch a game. They watch a game and sit down. Trust me. Hey, gentlemen, be good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Merry
enjoy the Christmas.
Yeah,
And I'll
man.
see you next year, if anything, yeah? Eddie, love you. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Respect, bro. Eddie, respect for joining us.
God bless you. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah,
And tell mommy hello for me, Crystal.
Eddie, hold on.
I
Eddie,
will.
Eddie, have you sorted out tomorrow? Because I've seen that on Facebook. The missus was giving you a warm time, but you don't want to open the front door to let people in your yard. Have you
You know
resolved
what
the
people
issue?
say to me? Are you talking about me? Don't pretend. Listen, unless I phoned you, tell you come round, don't knock on my door. I'm not answering it.
Oh, do you see? You see? But your missus has invited him.
Then she better look after them. She don't eat meat. She eat nut roast. Yeah, so they'll be eating that. I'll eat my turkey. I'm not really feeling like that. I think you know that.
Listen, man.
Have a
Listen.
good one, guys.
You
Christian,
too.
Ernie, enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the day off.
Stay safe. Please stay safe, guys. God bless.
All right. Guys, thanks for watching the show. Remember, you can share the show again.
Merry Christmas.
Repost the show. Thank you for joining us. It was the Fixture List. Crystal, Ernie, Eddie.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Peace, people. Peace.
Man.